Good morning, once again. It is January 18th, Martin Luther King Day. I'm up in Nanjemoy, Maryland. A little bit far from home, but checking out a new spot. This is Doncaster State Forest. They call it a demonstration state forest. There's it's a managed forest, but they've got little areas around here with signs that kind of show, what and why they clear cut and replant and that kind of stuff. And supposedly it's got an educational bent for future foresters. So anyway, it's like I mentioned, it's a cold January morning. It's about 20 degrees and the wind is howling. Thankfully the trees are protecting me a little bit from the wind, but for all that, it's darn chilly out here this morning. Crisp. So I don't know what I'm going to do. These trails, it looks like there's a lot of them that kind of intertwine each other, sort of braided. I can tell already there's a lot of equestrian use back up in here. There's a lot of footprints and tracks from horses. But I stand a pretty good chance of getting lost, at least temporarily, back here with these braided trails. So, not sure how far I'm going to make it. Don't want to spend all day out here, but I think I've got probably 7 to 9 miles in me here. We'll see how it goes. I really need new boots. I'm still wearing the shoes that I kind of tore up on the Appalachian Trail, so that might get to me before too long too. And I'll just call it quits, assuming I can find my way back home. I think I'm following these red blazes. This might actually help. Except the trail is pretty indistinct, so we'll see. Could be interesting. Okay. Maybe I'm still on. It's kind of a nice forest, though, so far. I mean, I've been following old logging roads clearly, but it's kind of a good mix of the, hollies and beeches, taller oaks. I figured it would be all like a, almost tree farm pine forest, kind of like Salem State Forest is, but this isn't a bad plot so far. This is more about what I was expecting. But first patch so far. Yeah, here's the tree farm look. As I said, it's cold out here. Well, I was about to give the folks out here some props for actually marking these trails pretty well after all. Lots of red blazes, so I'm following them. That's cool. Unfortunately, I just found a spot where the trail is marked one way but not the other. Well, I happened to spot it coming off of one of these dirt roads and thought, oh great, I get to go back into the woods again. And essentially what I did was followed that through the woods and then doubled back onto this old road going the wrong way. And I swear, when I come out on this road, you turn around and look the other way, the blazes take you down the road. But coming the other way, they take you through those woods and come out the wrong way. So I'm gonna retrace my steps here a little bit. Go back and pick up well, like I say, these trails are braided. The red one kind of weaves around through other stuff, so I'm gonna take a shortcut and try to regain the red one going the right direction up north of here a little bit, and it'll just cut off one of the big loops. feel like I've walked it already anyway. I clearly decided to do this loop in the wrong direction. It wouldn't surprise me as I walk by here if you're seeing red blazes behind me. I gotta tell you, there are none facing the direction that I'm going. But if I turn around and look back, it looks like everybody who's gone down this trail has gone the other way. So it's been very easy for me to lose my way and wander off and realize it fairly soon. But still, it's an interesting mix. I'm enjoying the walk. Lots of deer footprints out here, lots of horse, and I'm very, very glad it's as cold as it is, because it's been wet, and this place would be extremely muddy. Not so much where I am now in the leaves, but out on those dirt roads where the horses have churned it up. It would have been a mess if it hadn't been as cold as it is now. So happy for that. Seems the farther north I get, the more wild this becomes. Single track. Now I'm following along this little gorge you see, Creek Valley. But again, it's interesting. This is an extremely well marked trail clockwise, and it is unmarked counterclockwise. Not just poorly, not marked at all, going this direction. And I turn around, yeah, there's at least one blaze back there. There's one right here. Going the way I'm going, there's nothing. The trail isn't that hard to find. The problem is when you get to an intersection, if you want to actually go a particular direction, you'll have to walk down one of your options and then turn around and look back and see if this was the one that would lead you out. It's just interesting. I don't think I've ever seen anything like it. So, a couple of things. One, I'm seeing several hunters out here today, which I didn't really anticipate. Mentally, this is a Sunday, and the public lands are closed to hunting on Sundays, so you can typically come out and hike without any worries. But today's Monday and a holiday, so I've seen two guys just walking, scouting an area, and one guy looked like a bow hunter, but I wasn't sure if he was getting back into his truck. So hopefully I'm not intruding, scaring away game, pissing anybody off. Who knows? The other thing is, found a couple of spots here where the red trail kind of doubles back on itself and makes like a lollipop. That it doesn't, strictly speaking, intersect or make a figure eight, but if I go 100 yards down the road, I'll pick up the same trail again to cut off a loop, so to speak. So I'm trying to do that. I'm going to pop out here to the road a little bit, and I think if I go left, I'll be able to pick up this trail going the opposite direction for a big curvy loop that looks like it might be hard to follow going backwards the way I am, and then turn it into sort of a figure eight loop. I will ultimately cross back that same spot and then be going, the wrong way around the loop again to finish it out. But at least for this section that appears to be twisty and turns and on and off several other little spur trails, I'll be going the right direction where it's easy to follow. We hope. We'll see if that all works out. So I did successfully cut around so that I'm now going the opposite direction on the same trail. And like I say, I'll do a intersection, make this sort of a figure 8 kind of deal. Ironically, the trail is less marked in any places over in this section, so you know, whatever. I'm not truly lost. I only get confused and befuddled every once in a while. So I'm back in a stretch where it was a controlled burn at some point, and now is replanted with these big loblolly pines. You know, so it's still got the tree farm hunting area managed look that, say, Salem State Forest did, but I would say the overall quality of the trails and the quality of experience walking through the woods here is much better than Salem. Yes, there's some dirt roads, but it's not dirt roads through the middle of a clear cut. It's generally established forest, even if it is in some cases sort of orderly pine. Lots of birds. Like I say, if it were summer, I'm sure I'd be seeing lots of wildlife, but deer footprints, there's obviously things out here. So yeah, I mean, altogether a nice little area, so long as you can keep your wits about you and not get terribly lost or confused. And I'm wrapping up here. I'll have maybe 6/10 of a mile more or less straight shot back out to where I parked. So yeah, verdict on Doncaster. Actually, not half bad trails. You know, there's a couple of spots where the route that I was following these old roads, but it's not like just a bulldozer went through the woods like at Salem. It's, you know, they're pretty established fire roads. They've been there for a while. And then most of it has been like what I'm walking through right now. It's kind of a nice forest. You saw there are definitely stretches where there was some controlled burns and some loblolly pine patches. But then a lot of it is like this, kind of an open woods with predominantly beech and oak, and holly as an understory. And yeah, it's a nice walk. It meanders, it wanders around kind of aimlessly, but if you just want to get out in the woods, and I tell you, it's a good test for direction finding, not just the navigating without the blazes, but I found myself, the trail winds around so much, I found myself paying a lot of attention to where the sun was, and keeping track of, you know, well, now it's not southeast, now it's more direct south, right? Coming up on 11 o'clock now, so it's more or less south. So it's just, yeah, it's been an interesting day, and I'll probably have to come out here again maybe in the summer and do the full loop and do it clockwise next time.